welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Carl. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing so we can help the channel grow. Right, we're going to have a little change of pace this time, and we're going to do armour. I haven't done this before, so I'm really excited about it. So this is basically an in-box review of the Tamiya Panzer II FG in 1/35 scale. Right then, quick change of pace. This is something I've been looking at for quite a while I've been doing the aircraft. I really want to get into armour and other genres of the starring scale models, as it were. And I've watched a lot of videos, and there's quite a few around that recommend this kit as a beginner kit. It's old. This is like the tooling for was in the 1980s, so it is an old kit. But it's always this one's always pops up as recommended as a starter kit, and it's cheap. You know, it's under $20. It's Tamiya, so I thought as a start, I'd have a go at this. So what I want to do is have a quick look at what's in the box, and I think really this might be the kit that I'm going to be doing next, because it just gives me a change of pace as well. You know, I've got a few aircraft that I could still be doing, but I really fancy to go at armour. So I want to see if I find this as enjoyable as doing the aircraft. Anyway, so what we've got this the Tamiya Panzer II FG, and it's in 1/35 scale, so it's a nice size scale as well. The outside art on the box, I'm not sure whether this depicts, looking at the shorts I would have said like North Africa, but he hasn't got shorts on, and the camo scheme might say Eastern Front after it's come back from North Africa, so I'm not sure. Anybody knows, actually looking at that decal there, I presume it's North Africa. But anyway, if anybody knows exactly what this scheme's going to be, where it was, let us know in the comments, will you? Right, anyway, so the box. It's not a massive box, but the artwork's nice. I'll do that so you get a better look of it, because that light keeps, no matter what I do when I have these sort of boxes, that light always brings out a really shiny bit on this glossy front. Right, anyway, so that's the front of the box. On this side of the box, it gives you some more tanks that you can get hold of. The side just gives you a little bit more of the artwork. Also gives you the number, item number. If you want to get into it, and you want to try out this one as a starter for getting into armour, it is Tamiya 35009. On this side, a lot of Japanese stuff, which I have not a clue what it says, with a couple of like Wehrmacht emblems, I think, and a bit more artwork on the side. So right, let's see what's in the box, shall we? So in the box, let's have a look. We've got upper hull, lower hull, one bag full of sprues, two rubbery sort of like tracks, instructions in Japanese, tech tips, colour schemes in Japanese. So you've got A, B, C, D, E. So you've got like 4 versions. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versions you can do. I think these 2 are North Africa. I think these are Eastern. I think these 3 are Eastern Front. I'm not sure. It's in Japanese. But this is just from a video I've seen from Champion Modelling. I'm sure he mentioned that these 3. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure if that's Eastern Front or that's Eastern Front. That's definitely North Africa. I think that might be Eastern Front, and these 2 are in grey, and that's a yellow, grey, and this is desert but with a bit of camo on it, I think. So I'm not sure which skin I'm going to do yet, but it's in Japanese, so it really don't help. So anybody knows which ones of these are A, B, C, D and E, if anybody could tell me which ones these are. So you've got A, which I presume is green. I think that's Eastern Front. I think that's desert, I think that's desert, and I also think that's eastern front, but in another grey. So if anybody knows, because this is in Japanese, put it in the comments please. Right. Then we got the instructions. It's a little bit tiny. Yeah, it gives a lot about the history actually. It'll be well worth looking at, but it's, as you can see, it's not. I hate these open out things, but that means the instructions on the back are going to be fairly simple to follow. So basically, at the beginning, step 1, let's just get some bits on the lower hull. Step 2, let's get the wheels together. Step 3, let's do the turret. Step 4, let's do the added bits and the that go on there. Step 5 looks like we're going to do the tracks. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow what the guy in Champions, I can't remember his name, I watch it a lot as well. Champion Scale Modelling, I think maybe I'm going to follow the order he does. Right, so you use heat anyway to close these tracks up. But I mean, this is very simplistic. Very simplistic actually. Yeah, so the instructions are pretty easy. On here as well, it just shows you what's on the 2 sprues. You get your 5 figures, and that's pretty much it for the instructions. Yeah, not a lot to it. Yeah, frontal history, which actually I might have a look at. I can hardly read it though, but I might have a good read of that actually. So, right, instructions, colour schemes, tech tips, which you always get with Tamiya. Instructions in Japanese. Now we're going to move on to is, put that under there for safekeeping. Right, so what we've got 2 tracks, and I think according to the instruction and everything, these are sealed by heat. So basically what you've got to do is you've got to put these 4 tabs in here. Then what you do is you heat a screwdriver and you just touch these so that they go down and close it. I think later versions of these tracks, later versions actually you super glue them. Then later versions after that it becomes link and length. So I mean, so this is probably, as a noob like me, this is probably the first type of tracks you'll come across, and it's sort of like they're sort of rubberized, you know. There's a fair bit of detail on it. I'll tell you one thing I can't see flash. I mean, yeah, I can see a little bit, but for me it's not really, once it's painted up and weathered, it's not enough for me to really notice. So as a beginner, I think this just makes life a little bit simpler. So what you can do, apparently, so I've seen, is if you want sag in the tracks, you can actually, once you've got them on, you can actually just super glue around the drive wheel to sort of create the sag. It's something to look into anyway when I'm building it. I think I'm going to build it next anyway, so you're probably going to see a lot more of this kit straight away. Right, so there's that's the 2 tracks. Right, what we've got next is we have the upper half of the body itself. Sorry, I was just getting fascinated by that because it's such an early tool, like 1980s. I'm surprised at the detail on this. I mean, you can see all the anti-skid texture in the metal here. Looks like tools are already on there, so they're going to take a little delicate bit of painting to get them on. So you can't do them separate. It looks like that. Don't know if that's a cleaning rod or something like that. Storage boxes, some more storage boxes here. access to the engine compartment, I presume, for maintenance. Don't forget, if there's anything that I've got wrong, tell me in the comments, because this is my first entry into armour. I like it there. Right, I can't see anything that's going to cause any sort of problems there. Obviously underneath, yeah, a little bit of, see the ejector pin marks and things. I don't know if these will need to be dealt with. I mean, the chances of somebody that I know picking it up and turning it upside down, which are likely to get slapped for doing anyway. But I'm not worrying about ejector pin marks like I would do on aircraft. So this could be, yeah, a little nice bit of a respite. Okay, so that's the upper hull. Then we've got the lower hull. Inside here you've got, as you can see, the markings for the battery, the holes for the switch. Don't know what these three holes are for, but because when these came out, you could actually sort of like make them movable, motorise them. So you've got these on the underside. I'm in two minds whether to fill these. Yeah, I've got some stuff I could probably just fill the gaps with on this side, and then use a bit of Tamiya cement or something just to level it off here. I'd have to scrape away the direction for the switching, the switch on and off. So I'm undecided as yet whether to do that. Anyway, so we've got here 1, 2, 3. See, if anybody knows, I presume these are the road wheels because they touch the road. So we've got like the 5 bits of suspension, and I like the leaf suspension here. I mean, that's going to weather up quite nicely if you think about it. A little bit of a pin wash in each one of them will just make them pop. I presume this one here is for the drive wheel, and that'll be at the front, I presume. Idler at the back. I don't know what these 4 wheels are called. So loads of comments please guys, just to let me know the parts of the armour to help me. I mean, I'll learn as I go along, but it'd be nice if you could tell me. That way I'll be able to be a little bit more informative to people when I do another armour build. Right, so that's the lower hull. Again, for the age of the kit, 1980s, I'm sort of like, the detail on it is really crisp. I'm really pleased with it. Right then, so that's the 2 pieces of the hull, and we get 1 bag of sprues. And this is, yeah, I'm glad they get away with this in the later days. I'm not a fan of the staples. Excuse me. Because I'm liable to damage sprues. Right, so in here we get a bag full of stuff. Includes the decals. I'll have to look into this a bit further. These are just standard Tamiya decals, so they're not going to be obviously as thin as the cartograph, but they're looking quite nice. Yeah, so I'm not sure which version I'm going to be doing yet. Yeah, they do actually look quite thick actually. If you just move them around you can see how thick the carrier foam is. Yeah. Right. There is no tracing paper to protect it either, so I might keep that just outside the bag so it doesn't get rubbed to death by the sprues. Okay, so we'll put those there. Right, next thing we got is polytabs, or polycaps, sorry, for the wheels, so that they remain movable, which apparently is really, from what I've seen so far, it makes getting the tracks on easier, because you can rotate the drive wheel. You can set it in the cogs on the drive wheel, rotate the drive wheel to get everything lined up just as you want it. Yeah, so this is going to be novel. I haven't dealt with this many polycaps before. I've had the odd one on a spinner, on a propeller actually, on the Tamiya aircraft. Right then, let's have a look at the sprues. Let's see if we can get them in order for you. It doesn't tell you which is which. Sorry about that, there's a hair on there. Right, presume that's Sprue. I think it just goes by numbers. I don't think there is. Oh yeah, but they're split up. Wow, no, it's just figures. Yeah, there's no actual. Right, okay. My head's still in aircraft sprues. Anyway, so the first sprue off the top, what I seem to have here is a lot to do with figures and these plates. Now, I wonder if these can use these as blocking plates. Can't see any other reason. Or they're stands. Oh, they're the actual 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you've got 4 figures that stand up and one goes in. So actually, so these, I presume these are stands for the figures if you're not going to put them on a diorama, because these are all the parts of the figures. There's a bit of flash here, not a lot. I mean, it should be easy to remove using your craft knife. Okay. Again, another hair. So basically, we've got a couple of submachine guns, an LMG, and a rifle, pistol, ammo boxes, grenade boxes, helmets. Yeah, so this is all to do with figures. I'm not going to go too much into detail about these because I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually do any of the figures. Right. Again, sprues for the figures. Yeah, there's a bit of flash on there. What counts? Yeah, there's flash on the figures, seam lines on the figures. But actually, you call it seam line, but because of one piece, I don't know whether you call it flash or not. Detail's not too bad though. Mind you, it is like 1/35 scale, so I'm sort of used to 172 and 148, or 172 more than anything at the moment. So to me, this is new stuff. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now, tank stuff. Good. Right. Now, tank stuff. Okay. Obviously, we've got the turret. Now that pops off the sprue. Cool, there. Looks like there's weld lines on here as well, or weld texture, should I say? But the detail's pretty cool. That's the back, so I presume that's the front. That's spare track. I think these are for the drive wheel. On this side, more bits and pieces, hatches. Now I think these two are the guns. So you've got the machine gun and the little gun. I can't remember what calibre that is. I'll have to research that a bit more. You've got sledgehammer and some more handled stuff. Jack here, I presume. And some more stowage and little panels and things. It looks together like it's going to go together quite straightforward. It's going to look quite nice. I'm pretty itching to get into this. So obviously, how much of this? I presume that was exhaust at first, but I'm not sure now. I think that's exhaust. Okay. But when we get into the build, we'll look into it even more. Oh yeah, I've got a shovel here. I think this is for the cleaning rods. Here. Set my hand in the way. So I think these are cleaning rods, lights, towing hooks, I think. Yeah. Seam back to front. I mean, you get the texture, like I said, you're getting the texture for the spare track here, but all the texture for the rest of the sprues on this side. The detail's not too bad. I can't see any. There is flash, it's minimal. There are seam lines there that you just need to run a craft knife down. One on the barrel, bit on that. Sledgehammer. See, it does look really clean for its age though. I am very pleased with how it looks. So hopefully it'll be quite a simple build. I think most of the build is down to the painting and the weathering and that to bring everything together. So I presume these are 2 drive wheels. Oh, where are we going here? Road wheels, I presume. I'm not sure if these are idlers and these drive. Try to see where the backs are, maybe to one. This hubcap here. Oh, there's a cap here with bolts in. These obviously hold polycaps. Looks like it goes together straightforward. The detail is really nice. I think these are the idlers, because that's a nice sand wash in there. These will just hold it lovely. Detail's pretty cool. I keep saying, but for the age of this kit, I'm really nice. So you get 5 road wheels. Yeah, I think these are just the fronts of the drive wheel and the idler, and then the backs are down here somewhere. So I think these may be the backs for the road wheels. Then you've got these nice little wheels here. But we'll find out. Oh, there's towing hooks there. So we've got the towing hooks here, and you've got the model for the Commander. So whether you put the legs on or not is another matter. So he's pretty crisp, actually. Wow. See, this is what had made me lean more towards North Africa, because I can always try and get a Panzer that's like Eastern Front or somewhere like that, where I'm going to use Panzer Grey. But these, because I haven't done a figure yet at all, so I might attempt one. We'll see how the build goes, shall we? But anyway, that's basically the kit. I mean, really, there's not a lot to it. From what I've seen, most of the work comes down to the painting and the weathering of the kit. So, which brings out the realism. But I'm really, for the age of this kit, I am really pleased. And for the price, it's less than $20. I got myself, you may say it's a basic tank, but to me it's less than $20, and it helps me to experience something new in the hobby. So I'm actually going to try and lay them a bit. I'll lay them out in the box flatter, actually, adopting a curve on them. I'll leave them there. So that's basically what we've got. Loads and loads of comments, please, guys. You need to be telling me stuff, advice, everything else, because this will be my first armour model, and I think I'm actually going to do this one next, and then do the chippy afterwards, because I'm just itching to have a go at some armour. Something else that I got to go with it, sort of thing. Well, not go with it, as it were. It's not like I've got any aftermarket. Let's just lift this up, because this makes life easier. I've got myself some little tidies for my paints as well. I got some pigments. So from Vallejo, because Vallejo is basically the only brand I can actually get over here. It's the fact that I have to get it shipped from the US to me, and the only way to do it, and the only place I can get it, is only does Vallejo. But I got some pigments as well, should help. Some nice sandy stuff, which would be nice. Some cement. White sienna. That look almost like nice sort of darkish cement. A bit of mud, stuff like that. A few sort of colours for German armour. See, I think this buff may be okay for the main coat, but I'm also thinking I've got some yellow ochre as well, which looks closer to sand than this does. But we can always see, I mean, I can always use it. If this is a lot lighter, this almost looks more like excuse me, sand. And it's model colour, not model air, which means I'm going to have to thin it a lot more. But this may... See, I'm thinking ahead of myself here. Anyway, that's not what we're about. Anyway, I mean, I've got these little bits extra so that I'd have, you know, correct colours that I'd need, and something to do a little bit of weathering with here as well. I've got panel line wash, but I'm not sure I'll be using that. I think I'm going to stick with my oils at the moment. I'm more comfortable with them. I've got an enamel wash. I haven't really got any enamel things. But anyway, I digress. Sorry about that. I do tend to witter on. Right, so that's that. Right, so we're back to here. Right then, that was basically an inbox review of the Panzer II Ausf FG. So it was Tamiya 135 scale, and it costs, I think it cost me $17 or something, which I think it just works out about 12 quid. So that's well within, that's sort of within my budget that I can get in my pension. Do I like the look of the kit? Oh yes, for the age of the tool in, it looks great. And it looks like an ideal place for me to start learning how to do some armour. Yeah, very happy with it. So let me know what you think about this kit if you've built it before. If there's any tips you've got because you've built this kit before, let me know in the comments. So basically comment. Yeah, don't forget to like the video as well because it helps with the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel so we can help it grow. And I'll see you guys later.